Welcome back. We are now going to cover knowing your goals. So, you never would venture off on a journey without knowing where you're going, I would assume, unless you're just capricious and you're like, hey, wherever the world takes me, that's where I'm going to go today, right? But most of the time, we have a set goal in mind as to what is our destination. All too often, this doesn't translate to Google Ads. A lot of times, advertisers, especially in chiropractic, because I do a lot of audits, so I see this over and over again, where the campaigns are just kind of built out haphazardly with no goals in mind, measurements not set up properly, so it's just because Google will do everything they can to get you in there, right? So they're going to do everything they can to get you to build a campaign, and they're going to prompt you to build it incorrectly because they don't want you to be able to, or I should rephrase that. They want to be able to extract as much revenue out of you as possible, quite honestly, with showing, some conversions and some success. But a lot of it, because I've done so many audits, is very wasteful. So you have to really know your goals to be able to configure your campaigns properly. In the prior video, we talked about conversion. So if you haven't watched that, go back and watch that first, and then we'll see you back here on this video, because conversion tracking is super, super important. But once that's in place, knowing your goals is also vital. So where do you want to go? What are your objectives with running Google Ads? So let's talk about the buying journey as it applies to Google Ads. This works for a lot of different businesses. It also works in chiropractic, but we are going to take a dive into the funnel. All right, so we're going to go into the funnel. So Google Ads marketing for chiropractors, how people buy, the audience awareness funnel. Okay, so if you think about it, and if you think about different products that might be in your life, how did you actually purchase them? There was different stages of awareness, right? So we're not born being aware of everything. Like throughout time, we learn about things. With certain products that show up in the market, and I mentioned this in my last video, from the previous version of the chiropractic videos from a year and a half ago. A perfect example of unaware would be like the iPad when that showed up, right? So it's like, what is this? It's like it's completely new device. Steve Jobs was alive then. He introduced this product and people were mocking it. They actually made fun of the name because it was had pad in it, right? So people are, why do we need that for? We have our laptops. And then fast forward, it just became something that was very much a vital component of computing. Like a lot of people have the iPad and they have a laptop, and then they have a phone as well. And it found its place, but there was an unawareness stage for sure on that particular product. Now, as it relates to chiropractic, it's different. Like most people know that chiropractors exist, but there was a lot of people that don't know that chiropractors can solve various ailments or injuries that they might be dealing with. So there's like these little niche areas where there is an unawareness, right? So it's not just awareness of chiropractors. It's like awareness that chiropractors exist to be able to make your life better in a lot of different areas. So think about it that. It's more granular than just kind of high level. But the different stages are being completely unaware that you have an issue. And this is more like when you're seeing ads for different companies, you don't even know what they are, right? So it's like, okay, that's interesting, but you're unaware to having a problem that you need to solve. You're like, I have a problem. I don't know what the solution is yet, but I definitely have a problem. It's like something is off in my hip, something's bothering me. Don't know what to do about it. I'm going to live with it for a while. Solution aware would be more like, my back is like aching, it's like, okay, I can take some Advil or I can go to a chiropractor or I can get a massage or I can buy, maybe some type of a massage tool on Amazon or something. So there are solutions that are available that they're very aware of. And then product or service aware in this particular case, so I'm just going to say service aware, is like somebody who knows, okay, there's different techniques. It's not just getting my back cracked. There's like different massages and different techniques that a chiropractor can do that are very specific to a service that can get me back on my feet and feeling good again. And then most aware would be like your name. They're aware of you. They've been to you. They're searching for you. that is the holy grail of where you need to be, right? So there's different levels of awareness in that buying journey. Really important to know that because it applies, and I think it's like we know it, but we don't really think about it that much. But it applies to the funnel. So I already covered this. I'm just going to skip over it. It applies to Google Ads because you can literally take different searches and apply them to different stages of the funnel. For example, unaware, problem aware. Something feels off in my back. What is that? I don't know what that is. What do I do about it, right? Or my lower back is killing me. Like something feels off in my back could be a precursor to something happening that could be way worse later on. I know that there have been many times where I've done something weird and I'm like, oh, that's what the heck was that? And then maybe like a week later I'm at the gym and then I slip something. I'm like, oh, right. So, and then it's like, oh, there definitely was something. Or my lower back is killing me. So these intense signals get more amplified as we move forward through these different stages. But here, solution aware or service aware again. I wonder if a chiropractic adjustment would help with my back. And they might be doing more of these exploratory research-based queries on Google, looking for information, maybe looking for guides, looking for something to read. They're not ready yet to pull the trigger. They're just exploring. They're trying to figure out what's going on. And then, of course, most aware, this chiropractor really seems to know how to help me reclaim my life. I think I'll give them a call. So that's like the mentality of where they are. And a lot of times, we focus on all those different levels of the funnel, but not always. And that's why this video is like knowing your goals. Like, what do you want? There's different levels of awareness in Google Ads. And you have to think about that as you move forward, right? So it's like, these are the types of searches, for example, specific searches in Google that might apply to these different levels of awareness. Like unaware would be, how can I fix my posture? That has nothing to do with chiropractic, although chiropractic care could fix the posture. Somebody might, so different topics, like, are chiropractic adjustments safe? So exploring, like trying to become more aware. How can I treat my jaw pain? Can an adjustment help my back? And then as you get more aware, they get more specific. Chiropractor for back pain, for knee pain, relief for a pinched nerve, success rate of chiropractic care, still exploratory, but starting to get more tightly defined. And then more service aware, chiropractor near me, back adjustment near me, chiropractor, your town, USA, like wherever you're living, right? Best chiropractor in your city, top rated chiropractor. So somebody who's ready to pull the trigger. And then of course, most aware, like we talked about before, somebody typing in your practice name or names of doctors in your practice. Okay. So keep that in mind because our goals in Google Ads are at the unaware level to create awareness. At the problem aware level or solution aware, it's to generate more interest. So we're driving interest. At the service aware, we're trying to influence a decision, right? And then at the most aware, even though they know you, they might not be pulling the trigger. So compel action, right? So awareness is, we can redefine this funnel. Awareness, interest, decision, action. Create, drive, influence, and compel action, okay? So how does this look in the world of Google Ads? Like this. So we have, let me get myself out of here again, all right? So here at the top of the funnel, completely unaware, these are your billboards of Google Ads. You're driving down the freeway, you see a billboard. It doesn't even apply to you, but you're creating awareness. It's like boom, 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 right? It's like subconsciously, it's embedding itself into your brain over time. And this is like the old school marketing. Soap operas were called soap operas because they actually sold soap. Like Procter and Gamble got their start selling soap like back in the day, right? So it's like branding, 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 right? So this is where we can do branding, top of funnel, across all these different people who may or may not need chiropractic care. They probably don't, quite honestly, at that moment. Like 95% of them probably don't. But it's like instilling these impressions subconsciously so that they, it becomes something that just becomes part of their thought process. Eventually, it goes from subconscious to conscious over time. Now, that takes time, like I just said, and time equates to money when it comes to marketing, because if you're going to show your ads a million times, it's going to cost money, right? So a lot of times we don't start here, and I'll talk about that here in a second, and definitely in additional videos later. But at the top of the funnel, we're doing this, display marketing across the Google Display Network, where we're showing thousands, perhaps even millions in big cities of ad impressions over time to, again, instill recognition and memory of the name. At this particular level, like problem aware, again, it's display. It could be YouTube with videos. It could be Discover Network. It could be Gmail. There's a lot of different channels within Google. And then Google also has a Performance Max campaign that pretty much encompasses all of this at once, right? So it can be granular or it can be all together. And we'll talk about when that makes sense for chiropractic in future videos. But okay, so solution aware. Now we're starting to get more into like people doing more specific searches. So they have a solution in mind. They're searching a certain way. They're using Google search. All of a sudden Google search is starting to inform display. So Display Network will start showing ads that are more relevant to what you're searching. So will YouTube. Like they might even use YouTube as a search engine, right? So they're searching for something. They're trying to learn about it on YouTube. And YouTube is owned by Google. So then everything feeds into each other. And then, of course, Discover and Gmail work with that as well. Product or service aware. Okay, this is where we're starting to get more granular again. And people are doing very specific searches for different solutions that are different solutions or services that you provide, but they might not even know about you. So they're looking at different competitors in chiropractic. Okay, should I go to this person or this person? So there's this process of consideration stage is what we call it in marketing, right? So this is where we start getting into search, and it gets tighter and tighter and tighter until the most aware, where somebody's like, I need help now. I need to find a chiropractor near me. So that's exactly what they type. And then they look on their desktop, and then they look on their mobile phone, and they're looking at different chiropractors. And then we're able to see those signals through Google Ads, and we're able to intensify our ads, right? So be like, this person's ready to pull the trigger. Like we're gonna spend money at this particular juncture just to get that person over into the website and convert it into a patient. So that is the funnel as it applies to Google Ads. Now, we're going to talk about how we work this in Google Ads. I'm not going to get into it now. This is for another video, but we start at the bottom of the funnel and we work our way backwards as a teaser, because it's very counterintuitive when you think about it. It's like, why would you start at the bottom of the funnel? Most funnels, you're at the top. Traditional market is at the top, and then you filter down to the bottom of the funnel. In this particular case, there's a very good reason that we start at the bottom of the funnel. And I'm excited to share that with you. And we're going to talk about that in upcoming videos. Okay. For now, again, quick plug for our services. So we do chiropractic campaign builds all day long. It's something I've been doing for years and years. Work with a lot of different chiropractors and specialties. If this is not your cup of tea, and believe me, this is Google Ads is incredibly complex. They change things all the time. The behavior of Google Ads, even the way that the match types work, are constantly changing. It's hard to stay up, with those changes. If you'd rather just focus on quality patient care and growing your practice and allow us to be able to do the heavy lifting for Google Ads, we're here to help. brandrocket.net/schedule. That will send me an email. Let's get on the phone. Let's chat. 15, 20-minute conversation. It's free. Like, why not, right? And maybe we can help. All right. So hope you enjoyed that. I will see you in the next video. All right. Thank you.